Not people just want to talk to me. What am I going to say? What's the first thing they're going to say? What should I say after they say that? And then, of course, the conversation, hey, how are you? They say something, I wasn't prepared for that one. And then you get into this like fake, really uncomfortable, you feel out of your body, anxiety feeling. And at least that was my experience. And then like talking in a different voice and you don't know why and you can't fucking bring it back. Anyways, I was also thinking about short-term memory and why it makes sense that for PTSD and when you're in a trigger response or in a trauma, and so you're basically working with trauma brain when you're in trigger response and when you're in trauma. Of course, it's much more intense when you're in real trauma, I would imagine. I'm not a doctor, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't, if the systems weren't showing up in pretty much the same way. Is because you don't need a long-term memory to fight off a wolf that's attacking you or something, you know, or a wild animal. So this is where all these instincts are coming from, is what I'm getting at. But also the body dysmorphia thing. It's like, so if I'm 10 pounds heavy, I remember one time I weighed at one point 145 pounds. That was the most I've weighed. It was in LA. It was, I want to say it was like 2012. So I was like 31. I'm 38 now. And I had stopped drinking. I did AA until I guess I wasn't like an addict. It was more eating disorder stuff I should focus on. I did OA, that's Overeaters Anonymous. And I did Al-Anon, and that was really helpful. Being an adult, knowing about like my mom's alcoholism and how that affected me, that was really helpful. Everything, all 12-step programs I feel like are worth checking out. Yeah, if a wolf is like coming after you, you don't need to have a memory chain of some witty thought progression. Yeah, I gave myself a compliment in there. We're the first society in history that the more money you have, i.e. the higher class, let's call it, is in direct correlation to weight, the opposite, inverted. So whereas if you had a lot of money in the past, you would have money to have food, to have a farm, to have animals that made food, etc. Here, it's so desirable to be thin, so people either have very expensive trainers, workout schedules, etc., as well as excellent food, which ironically enough, vegetables and stuff like that cost more than, you know, twice the amount of McDonald's or crap food that has all this stuff that your body doesn't understand and then just sits there as fat. So for the first time in history, human beings, the higher you are on the system, the more money you have is most likely how everyone would agree one's worth or whatever is gauged right now. The thinner most likely you are, and then as you go down you get bigger. Like somebody wrote, how are poor people getting fat? Crappy food. Probably half the amount of food and just shitty. So stay happy, always have a good time, and know that your self-worth is beyond the stars, beyond the sun.